Happy Friday, guys. It's Keith Grevnitz with the Beat Sessions. Excited to bring you a review of a band I fell in love with so many years ago when they released Deloused in the Comatorium in 2003, produced by, of all people, Rick Rubin. Today, Friday, September 16th, the Mars Volta released their self titled album, The Mars Volta, and it's awesome. I really didn't know what to expect. I mean, this is one of the most progressive and wild rock bands of modern time. But it seems like they came down from outer space on this one, and I love it. I hope some of you Volta heads don't get too upset with this one. You know, it's not too often that I like when a band tries something new, because it's not easy to change, and it's not easy to change and do it well. And the fact that they seem to be following the rules more writing this album normally wouldn't sit so well with me. But this really works. It's slower, more melodic, following some musical standards and formatting, bigger presence on the keys. They stay in a groove like they've been writing songs while jamming, which I really like. More 2 to 3 chord based songs that allows the band to sink into that groovy space. Subtle instrumentation, more forgiving changes, and a more contemporary drum sound without the sudden bursts and stops. It's kind of like they took a chill pill. This album, surprisingly, is produced by guitarist Omar Rodriguez Lopez. And again, I think he did an amazing job. It sounds great. It opens with Black Light Shine. Latin sounding drums melt into a badass groove. We can hear some great background guitar from Rodriguez Lopez. Cedric Bixler-Zavala sings in and out of Spanish and English, but sings an incredibly catchy chorus. If that rain don't fall any sooner, I'm gonna wash up on the shore. If that train don't run any sooner, I'm gonna waste away. I really like the Spanish here. The transitions are seamless. What a rocking opening track. This is great. Graveyard Love, the second track, doesn't disappoint. It's very modern and spacey sounding. Support here from Marcel Rodriguez Lopez, Omar's little brother, on synth. Amazing synth breakdown. Willie Rodriguez Quinones on drums is fantastic. This band is firing on all cylinders here. I am very impressed. Shore Story was a track that took me by surprise. It's an R&B song for all intents and purposes. This makes me move, and it may be my favorite track on the album. Don't hate me for saying that. But it's maybe because how shocked I was to hear it. This song sounds so damn good. The synth organ from Marcel really holds the song up with Bixler-Zavala's beautifully catchy vocals. It's easy to re-listen to this one. You might have to hit back a track when this one finishes. Close your eyes, just sit back and let it groove. So, Blank Condolences is slow and jammy, great drum work, heavy wah and guitar effects. I'm just so surprised I like this slow Volta, but it's just so cool. I like how they stay in a groove as a band. I'd love to know how this one was written. They did it together, but I really think they were jamming this one out. Vigil starts with Bixler-Zavala singing, I know the way he makes you hide, and it makes me think this one is referring to Danny Masterson. You may remember him as Hyde on that '70s show. Bixler-Zavala's wife has for years alleged that Masterson had raped her. On June 17, 2020, Masterson was arrested for 4 counts of sexual assault. Masterson was accused of stalking, threats, and violence, as well as other members of the Church of Scientology along with him, which Masterson is also a member. This is a crazy story. Jury selection begins October 11th for Masterson's trial. This must be great relief for all the victims involved and their families. He's looking at 40 years to life. It's pretty serious. Que Dios te maldiga mi corazón, which means may God curse you, my heart, is a strong Latin-based song with a Cuban influence instrumentation with a bit more rock. Again, with a mix of Spanish and English lyrics, this one rocks really hard. Cerulea is a slow driving melodic track that enjoys staying in a mellow place with a low synthy bass sound from Marcel Rodriguez Lopez. When it finally climaxes, it feels so good. No pun. We have guitar and elevated drum sound here. Quinones drums really highlighting this one. Flash Burns from Flashbacks has syncopated electric drums with some very hard sounding electric guitar with delicate keys in the background. There's a polyphonic quality here that is even borderline on busy, but it works surprisingly. Some dissonant sounds that add to the color of this one, like only the Mars Volta really know how to do so well. Okay, Palm Full of Crux is a slow ballady song with flute synth and horn sounds with a gentle piano. This is a 2-chord bass song that picks up with some drums and vocal harmonies in the chorus. If the radio were a thing anymore and there were a good enough channel to play it, I think you'd hear this track and several others getting airtime from the Mars Volta. No Case Gain is so funky and groovy, another favorite of mine for how cool and different it is. The drum beat is so fresh and funky, a very poppy bass sound, and great vocals. This one is cool and sounds a little Volta weird, which I was happy to hear. The rhythm section is definitely rocking. Tourmaline, which is a crystalline silicate mineral group, opens with Spanish style guitar and then comes into some cymbal riding drums and a flute sounding synth dominating this one, along with dreamy vocals from Bixler-Zavala. Ekis 3 has an organ bass, heavy menacing sound with acoustic piano ticklings for effect. I feel like this one could be in a soundtrack of a movie where just badass stuff is happening. The effects on Bixler-Zavala's vocals in the chorus make it cut like a hot knife through butter. Gives it a metallic finish that I really liked. When vocal effects can get a little tiring, in my opinion. The keys solo at the end is just right on, jazzy and fun. Collapsible Shoulders has an ominous opening with like an ancient-like sound. But then it bursts into what I'm calling the Volta's new R&B sound that I've really been enjoying. Super melodic. I like the melodic. The Requisition, the final track, starts with a really sweet sound, and then it moves into a darker zone, and then it just has a nasty breakdown that just highlights how different and great these guys are as musicians. I love it. I love this album from beginning to end, and give it a vinyl, please. A vinyl, yes, please. And a 10 out of 10 on the volume scale. Listen to this as loud as possible. Thanks again for listening, guys. Please comment and tell me what worked for you with this one or what didn't. I loved it personally. Have a great weekend. I'm Keith Grevenitz with the B Sessions. Rock on, guys.